June 9th, 2018, 55 miles off the coast of Libya. 221 people are fighting for their lives. Some won't make it. Men, women, unborn children, looking to escape torture, crippling poverty, hopelessness. Men, women, unborn children, looking for a second chance to go to school, to find love, to raise a family. Universal yearnings virtually impossible to materialize where they come from. Among them is Ali, a 23-year-old Sierra Leonean traveling alone. Ali lost both his parents and left a brother and an aunt behind for a chance of becoming someone in Europe. That night, Ali was among the few to have a life vest, but that nearly killed him. There was panic when one of the dinghies started to sink. Over 50 people fell in the water. Ali was one of them. And those close to him grabbed onto Ali, which forced him underwater several times. When he finally reached the rescue boat, he was wearing nothing but his underwear. Everything else had been stripped off his body by fellow passengers desperately trying to stay afloat. Ali was terrified, tired, cold. He was also very light and the easiest one to pull out of the water. I know because I did it with one hand. Our story begins here, at the port of Catania in southern Italy. This is where we embark in one of the biggest news events of last year, one that tested European policy, one that challenged European values, one that threatened to split Europe apart. A story I got to tell from the inside, taking viewers with me every step of the way. The story of my 10 days at sea. When we left the port of Catania, there were already reports of several distress calls coming from international waters off the coast of Libya. It would take us several hours to get to the search and rescue zone. And only once we got there did we fully understand the magnitude of the task that awaited the rescuers. Over 200 people cramped onto two dinghies that were very close to sinking, and several hundreds also in danger not too far away. In total, 4 rescue operations were conducted that very night, and all those saved were brought on board the Aquarius and was supposed to be transported to safety in Italy. 630 people that were about to become the symbol of a so-called crisis that could spell the end of Europe as we knew it. An avalanche, an invasion, an out-of-control influx, a dangerous wave. But I was there, and they weren't an avalanche, nor were they a wave. They were just people, like you, and I. And I decided that my role on that boat was to show that. So I took my phone and I filmed everything, all the time. I was there when they ate, I was there when they played, I was there when they prayed, I was there when they went to sleep, and when they woke up. I was very worried because the lines were completely blurred. My working day never ended, it never started. I thought this is going to go terribly wrong. I'm way too close to this story. But there was no other way. We were all on the same boat, and I thought, what a metaphor. As a race, as a species, we are all on the same boat. And then I thought, this is the story. And I invited the viewers to come on board with us. And that's how Alexander in Poland, Roberto in Italy, Javier here in Spain, Jérôme in France, Bill in the UK, all got a chance to sit down with me and meet Soniata, a 22-year-old mother of two who traveled alone with them for 11 months so that Mamouna and Khadija wouldn't have to undergo a very painful tradition in their village, that of female genital mutilation. Soniata was exhausted, but also very hopeful that they were finally safe. The viewers, Jérôme, Javier, Bill, also got a chance to meet Reward, a 20-year-old who dreamed of becoming a pilot and who left Nigeria, his mom, and his sister behind for a chance of doing just that. This was the most sociable man on that boat. Always bubbly, always talkative, a real charmer. Girls absolutely loved him. The viewers also got to meet Ali and the women of his life, his sister, his daughter, and his wife, Mariam. Ali had to risk their lives for a chance of a new peaceful beginning after fleeing the war in Libya. He carried the weight of the world on his shoulders, and behind that smile, you could tell he feared for them. He feared for his girls. Fear, angst, uncertainty. These men and women shared with me some of their most intimate, profound secrets, feelings, dreams, stories, and trust was slowly built. And I am convinced that what allowed us to build that trust was technology. The fact that I could talk to them, interview them, film them, using this small omnipresent object allowed us to still look at each other's eyes while that conversation was going. And that trust was reflected in the stories I told. There was no filter. There was no time for miraculous edits, graphics, special effects. There was very little distance between these men and women and the viewers. The effects, the music, everything came from them. The material came out raw, but it was honest. And so people at home got to see Soniata, Reward, Ali, in all their vulnerability, in all their powerlessness, reliant upon the goodwill of others. And that, my friends, can be terrifying. Why? Because it begs the unbearable question, what if it had happened to me? What if my house had been destroyed? What if my family had been killed? What if my dreams had been dashed? What if I could no longer feed my children? What if I had no chance of succeeding? What would I do? What would you do? I'll tell you what you would do. You would jump. You would get on that flimsy boat. You would try to swim. You would risk everything. These men and women kept telling me they had no idea what they were capable of until they were faced with unimaginable pain. So today, I want you to imagine. I want you to picture yourself on that boat. I want you to look into your own eyes. Do you see fear? Do you see courage? Do you see both the fear and the courage that I got to see in Ali's eyes? I do. For a few days, the fear and the courage were overshadowed by excruciating weight. Italy, Malta, France refused to let the Aquarius dock. We were stuck, but the news traveled worldwide.
Anelise, what is the situation on board like?
It's a crowded boat.
The conditions now on the ship, Anelise.
These people on board are exhausted.
Anelise Borges, elle est à bord pour la chaîne Euronews.
La chaleur est insupportable.
Meanwhile, on board, despair was palpable. Had it all been in vain? Were they going to be sent back? Ali was devastated. He wanted so bad to resume his studies, computer science. He wanted to make new friends. He wanted to find a job. He wanted a home. He wanted a new beginning. But what if I told you that Ali's hand actually slipped, and that Ali was in fact among the 2,275 people who drowned last year while attempting the dangerous crossing of the Mediterranean Sea? 6 deaths every day.
I want to say special thanks to you for saving my life.
That's Ali. When we were finally introduced a few days after that night of the rescue, I didn't think then, and I still don't think today, that I did that. I didn't save Ali's life. Ali saved himself for risking everything and making it. After Spain accepted the Aquarius, Ali got a chance to request asylum here and is currently waiting for this new life to really begin. But what I keep thinking about is how many more Alis are out there today, right now? 10? 100? About to board that flimsy boat, about to try and cross the Mediterranean. Those Alis won't find help along the way. There are no more helping hands in the Mediterranean Sea. After 2 years and nearly 30,000 people assisted, Aquarius was forced to terminate its operations last year. MSF and SOS Méditerranée said that the political pressure was unbearable and political considerations were placed above human lives. We live in an era of profound contradictions, where it's easier to ship a piano from the Philippines to Paris than it is to save a human life in danger. Why have we become? Or more importantly, what do we want to be? I'm not here to give you an answer. I am here to share with you a story that troubled me and still troubles me today. A story I hope troubles you too. Because as I once read, the moral conscience at ease accomplishes nothing. Ali, Mariam, Reward, thank you for troubling me and for coming today.